Because there is no doubt racism affects our society.
There is no doubt this is the biggest conservation opportunity in Africa.
And there is no doubt that he wants you to know he's with you. He's with you.
But there is no doubt that Hitler's oration abilities are unrivaled throughout history.
So there is no doubt that the president understands.
And there is no doubt these are difficult days. You deserve better too.
You deserve it. Your children deserve it.
You deserve that title. You give no quarter.
And you deserve better than that.
You deserve that. Yeah, that's gross.
You deserve it because your family depended on you.
Because you deserve it.
So, for instance.
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 On the contrary, in my experience, they do care. They're passionate about social action.
On the contrary, I am humbled by how much more we have to do.
On the contrary, we need information on uncertainty.
On the contrary, it can become exceptionally personal. On the contrary, it's critical.
Plot on the contrary.
On the contrary, that I think raises the interest of the United States.
On the contrary, we will collaborate with industry to find technology.
It's going to be the teaching question, isn't it?
Sorry to interrupt. I respect that. Sorry to interrupt you earlier.
No, it's totally fine.
Thank you very much. It was really, really interesting.
Okay, sorry to interrupt, but
just sorry to interrupt. I want to be rude. There's quite a lot to come back to. I suppose my feeling.
Just sorry to interrupt you, Naval, but you brought this up, and it's sort of a funny story.
I mean, Budwig here is sorry to interrupt you, but it's actually
the truth that regardless of race, religion, or station in life,
successful professional life, regardless of how many Instagram followers you have.
Regardless of their background, and they deliver outstanding results.
Which will publish any trial conducted in humans, regardless of whether it has a positive or a negative result.
Can come from anyone in the group, regardless of their role.
Regardless of gender, regardless of religion, regardless of ethnicity, and regardless of race.
Is an integral part.
We're an integral part.
It's an integral part of that.
An integral part.
But an integral part of Jim.
An integral part of our food system.
This is an integral part.
You are an integral part of that.
Just in case something happened.
Just in case anything out there found them.
Just in case you were wondering what happened in Amsterdam.
Just in case it needs another shot, but it doesn't.
Just in case you were wondering.
I want access to the steering wheel and the brake, just in case, right?
On the other hand, I recently opposed the release of certain photographs that were taken.
On the other hand, those people who are in that position can still have mobile phones.
Now, on the systems side, on the other hand, so much of the suffering is unnecessary.
This brain, on the other hand, can perform hundreds of mental operations at the same time, very rapidly.
And to distinguish clearly and publicly between Russia, on the one hand, and the Kremlin regime, on the other hand.
We'll do the trick.
Yeah.
Use oil. Horticultural oil would do the trick.
Those tools won't do the trick.
Unfortunately, that didn't do the trick.
And right about there should do the trick.
Look, I just think that doesn't do the trick.
But two wrongs do not make a right.
But two wrongs don't make a right.
But she made the decision that two wrongs don't make a right.
Two wrongs don't make a right.
Under two wrongs don't make a right.
Two wrongs don't make a right.
Two wrongs do not make a right.
Through thick and thin.
People will follow you through thick and thin.
Love your family through thick and thin.
Supporting me over these decades, through thick and thin.
We have stuck together through thick and thin, in good times and in bad.
Through thick and thin, in a century of war.
And a supporter through thick and thin.
Stop being so full of yourself.
You are so full of yourself.
God, you're full of yourself.
Not being so full of yourself and so confident.
It's harmful if you are so full of yourself that you ignore other people.
You just get so full of yourself, nobody can stand you anymore.
Full of himself.
And he was quite full of himself.
Pain is no laughing matter.
Is actually no laughing matter.
But this is no laughing matter.
Unfortunately, this is no laughing matter.
Today's subject is no laughing matter.
They had nothing to laugh about. There was no laughing matter over there.
There's no laughing matter. It's pretty serious stuff.
It's no laughing matter.
Sounds funny, but it is no laughing matter.
They cast it as a comedy, but it's no laughing matter.
It's better late than never.
Better late than never.
So better late than never, right?
Better late than never.
It's really better late than never.
I guess better late than never.
He's been fantastic. Thank you. Oh, good. Better late than never.
Nice to see you. Better late than never.
It only comes up every once in a blue moon.
If something happens once in a blue moon, it means it happens now and again. It is a rare event.
Like once in a blue moon, I'm going to need to take over.
From time to time.
Once in a blue moon?
Okay.
But once in a blue moon it happens. Once every 124.
It may happen once in a blue moon.
It's rare. It happens once in a blue moon.
Not once in a blue moon, but every day, this is what you need.
You know the phrase once in a blue moon? It means not all that often.
Be like on the tip of your tongue, but it'll feel like it's missing.
It's on the tip of my tongue.
When a word is stuck straight on the tip of your tongue.
A word, it's on the tip of your tongue, but you just can't get it.
It's on the tip of your tongue, man, I know.
Moments where you're like, it's on the tip of my tongue is the...
And having the words on the tip of your tongue and not being able to get them out.
But it does, against your will.
Against your will.
They can take your blood from you against your will just because you're driving.
Part-time, against your will.
Or against your will.
I can't keep you here against your will.
If you text people against their will.
To force someone to marry against their will.
Because they're being forced to do things against their will.
Including women being held against their will.
Just as the national debt is imposed upon your children against their will.
To and fro.
Not just to and fro from the supermarket.
To and fro from place to place.
They've not been going to and fro.
Delivering goods to and fro throughout the kingdom.
Going to and fro on the earth.
We send a lot of files to and fro.
Go to and fro throughout the whole earth.
There was a to and froing of messages.
Walking to and fro.
Of what goes around comes around.
You say, what goes around comes around. History just repeats itself.
That what goes around comes around.
Well, so what goes around really comes around, especially in the social.
What goes around comes around.
So what goes around comes around.
What goes around comes around.
What comes around goes around.
What goes around comes around, or what comes around goes around.